Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Okay, Teresa, we're here today and we're going to talk about this hair thing.
Let's talk about hair.
Did you hear about the little girl in, I think, Michigan, 8-year-old Marion Scott?
Yeah,
And
I
in the
did.
school picture.
Yeah, I think that was ridiculous. I think all the adults involved should be fired.
I know, right? I cannot. And the little girl looked so cute.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what she was thinking, probably confused about what was the big hoopla about. And
What's
she's
the big
ready for
hoopla?
picture
Yeah,
day.
right.
Yeah.
And you know how proud she must have been that night preparing for her
Right,
picture day.
right.
And then for them to steal that from her. But you know what? That gentleman that came
Oh,
to do
yeah,
the
the
photo shoot.
photographer.
Oh, kudos to you, brother.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you
yes.
so much for looking out for that young lady.
Yeah, and way to make us proud in the
Yeah.
community. So
Right.
we got a blog this week about that, and gonna be more specific about his business, and certainly want people to support that.
Mm-hmm.
But and then right on the heels of that, we heard about Gabrielle Union.
Oh man, when are we ever going to get past the looking at the differences? Any other ethnic group can do whatever they want to do to their hair, but it's only when black women do something different that it's pointed out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and when I heard about those two instances, it made me reflect on my journey to natural hair, and people. I agree with you. Women should be able to do whatever they want to do with their hair, and so if you're natural or perm, all of that, you do you. But for me, I thought back to my hair journey, and some of the fondest memories I have was as a little girl finally getting to go to the beauty salon with my big sisters and my mom, that I was finally included in the number, and just going there on Saturdays, and that was special, and even the smell of the place, and all of that, and seeing the different women, and just that was my definition of beauty, and trying to and feeling like a grown up, and sort of part of the process of coming into your own.
Yeah. What was the style?
Oh, well, I'm sure back then, of course, I used to get my hair straightened, and actually, and a lot of the times my aunt was the family hairdresser, and we would go to her house sometimes, and that was the whole process for her to straighten our hair. And but you felt that was usually on a Saturday. You were getting ready for church on Sunday, and all of that.
All of that came with it. Well, let me tell you something. It's not such a fond memory for me.
Really?
No, man. My hair is so tightly coiled, and I love it. But back in those days, my mom wanted it straightened.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated getting my hair straightened. Now, once it was done, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it.
Yeah.
But getting it done, it was painful.
Well, I'm going to tell
you
you.
had to sit still or you get burned. I did not like it.
Well, let me tell you, those perms were painful. I tell you, they were painful for me as when I got older and started getting the perms. But really,
was it painful? I don't remember.
They burned.
Oh, I didn't have that.
You did not?
I might have had a burn, a chemical burn, once in my life or twice.
Because of my, the texture of my hair, it would take a long time to straighten it. And it would burn. My scalp would burn. It would felt like it was on fire. Fire.
I do remember a movie where a guy was getting a curl.
Yeah,
and it was on fire.
yeah.
But no. None
You
of
didn't
that
have
for me.
that?
In
Lord.
fact, I didn't get a perm until I went to college. And it was only because my mom wasn't there to take me to get my hair straightened, and we couldn't find someone to do it.
So you got a perm.
So I got a perm, and let me tell you something. That was the best experience for me. I'm sorry. I know I'm all natural now, but back in those days, I thought, hallelujah,
Yeah.
hallelujah. And my hair was straightened and it was permed and I could wash and go. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, it was convenient, but I'm gonna tell you, I look back now and like I said, most people that know me know I sort of watch money. I've always been that way. And when I think back, one of the things for me was just the cost.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
money I spent.
Yeah.
Because we typically, our stuff costs a lot more money.
Yeah, unfortunately.
When we would go to hair salons. So
Yeah.
you spend a good punch, good chunk of your monthly budget
Yeah.
on, in the hair salon. So for me, I started thinking about that, but the big thing that drove me to being natural was just the time. As I got busier in my career, I didn't have the time to go sit in a salon. And even when I got to salons where, they take you as soon as you walk through the door, but the expense, but when I work out, and I would go to the gym at 5 a.m. before work, and then I barely had time to curl my hair, and it would be sizzling because it would be wet, and I'm trying to get to work. And so as I did that more, I just started thinking, okay, it's either going to be the gym or this hair. It's just not working. And for my health, that was a no-brainer. I've got to go to the gym.
Right.
So I had to let that go.
Right. So my story is a bit different. Like I said, it wasn't until college that I got a perm. And luckily for me, the young lady that I found to do my hair was brilliant when it came to hairstyling and hair cutting. The thing, though, with her was that she was natural. She wore locks, and they were beautiful. But her gift was doing hair in general, because she had many natural hair care clients as well as permed hair clients. And her lot in life was to convert all women to natural.
Really?
Yeah. So I had a lot of hair, a lot. I mean, my hair was on my shoulders. And the first thing she did was cut it. She was like, I think you will appreciate a shorter haircut because I have a long face.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So I let her cut it. So she cut it. So I wore a shortcut, right? But it was a perfect cut. I was able to work out and not have to worry about the whole experience of curling and that kind of thing, because the cut was just that perfect.
Really?
Yeah, she was brilliant. I mean,
she
I
must
loved
have
her.
been.
I loved her.
I've always struggled with that.
So much so. And she still, I mean, she cut it really short. She was like, it's easy transition to natural now. I mean, she talked to me about that every time. And I continue to use her even past college and into my professional life. And it was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going back. All I could think about was those straightening combs. No, I'm not doing it. But what happened to me, the reason I decided to go natural was because the ultimate straw that broke the camel's back was because I got pregnant. And I knew that those chemicals weren't good for me.
Yeah.
But that was my last holdout. There's still one other holdout, and I probably will be telling too much if I say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. I can't go gray. So the only other chemical that I use on a regular basis is coloring my hair. But once I found out that I was pregnant, it was actually time for a perm, and I just never got another one. So,
well, see, I've been natural probably about 3 or 4 times. I go back and forth, and I'm natural now. I don't know what I might be in a few years, just whatever I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not really, for me, I'm not trying to make a statement or any of that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do what's working for my life at that particular point in time. And, that with the style of yoga that I do, I cannot have a perm. That's just not going to work for me.
Well, it's not a statement for me either. It's a statement for health and trying to eliminate as many chemicals out of my life that I can, because we can't get rid of everything. But I will never go back.
Right.
I mean, I embrace it. I don't straighten it. Yeah. So if I had to do a straightening thing, if I even had to detangle every day, I probably would not love my hair as much as I do. But it works for me, and I'm just going to never put a perm in my hair.
Really?
And my daughter's never had a perm. She's 19. So it's been 19 years that I've been free of chemicals on my hair. And I encourage her not to do that. Yeah. I'm never going to encourage her to put a perm into her hair.
And the health thing, because, I did read, I think it was this book, How Long Do You Want to Live? I can't remember, where they talked about doing the the autopsies
Yeah,
on
I
African
think that was
American
it. I
women,
remember you telling me that.
and how when they did the autopsies, the women's heads were just caked from all of these perms, and how the perms, I mean, those chemicals are seeping into your body. And once I read that, that was a bit
Yeah,
unsettling for
it
me.
is
And for
unsettling.
me, I just thought about in terms of my health. Okay, you know there are certain toxins that you're going to be
That's
exposed to
exactly
just by
right.
virtue of living. There are toxins in the
That's absolutely right.
environment, toxins in
Absolutely
food.
right.
So I made a conscious decision. What can I do to minimize? And that's one place I can minimize, and that works for my life. And so I said, okay, well, take the chemicals out from that. And so
Exactly right.
that's
Same,
just
same,
something I've
same.
been doing. But I shouldn't really say it's not a statement. It wasn't. I made the decision not so much to send a statement, but I do identify with the natural look more. I feel, I guess, freer and more myself
Oh
when
yeah,
I'm natural
absolutely.
in
Yeah.
terms of my cultural identity.
Right, right.
So,
The only
yeah.
problem not even a problem, but the thing, going back to the Gabrielle Union situation, and not so much her situation, but just being a African American woman or a black woman with natural hair,
Yeah.
and people feeling the need to touch it.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Don't put your hands on my hair.
Oh, yeah.
Don't touch my hair because it's hair.
Yeah.
Just like you have hair.
Yeah,
And I'm not going
right.
to touch your hair. So
Yeah.
don't touch
But
that.
I don't even know though, Teresa, if that's because it's natural. Because I remember being an undergrad and going to a white university, and on my dorm floor, I mean, the girls were just amazed at my hair. They would look at it and have questions about it. I was like, really, it's not that serious.
It's not that
But
serious. I have
but
hair just like you have
yeah,
hair.
I know, right?
It's just different.
So when we look at 2019, almost 2020, we are still having
Dealing with it.
this issue with our hair and how we choose to style it,
Right.
and what works for us as women of color. So that it's concerning. I'm as I said, we're doing a blog this week about that, and we're interested in any thoughts you may have on that.
Thank you for listening. And as you guys know, when we know better, we do better.
Have a great day.